unbelief. And another place in the Bible, Jesus says, before he comes in the return, shall he find faith on the earth? Shall he find faith on the earth? Through everything we've seen these last few years, we're approaching the time of his coming. Things are really starting to look up. And by that means things are really going bad here. And if things are going bad here, we look up.
Yeah.
And as we look in this chapter, we've got 56 verses, 1,323 words, all inspired by God, kept forever in our King James Bible. This particular chapter, to 4.7 grade level, we saw powerless Christians in verses 1 through 6. Why were they powerless? Because they had no faith. Then you turn right around the next section of verses, verse 7 through 13, we saw some powerful Christians. And they were powerful because of what Jesus did for them. He sent them out.
Yeah.
He sent them out. I was reading a book this morning by a man named Oswald J. Smith. And he was talking about, he gave a narrative of what went on in this world prior to the missionaries reaching out to this world. You know, we had people up in Alaska, and they projected him having a defense up in Alaska, and one over there in Afghanistan, and one over in India. And he'd have them devils report to him and say, we've kept his name out of here. We've kept that message out. About 100 years later, it said, he asked them the same thing. They said, well, they may have got one or two in. And the other guy said, yeah, you remember those we killed that come in? That inspired the others to come. They have something worth dying for. And as we get over into this chapter, we're going to see that, and it's in Persecuted Christians today. In verse number 14, and King Herod heard of him, for his name was spread abroad, and he said that John the Baptist was risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him.